Would you believe me if I told you that there is a skirt that's custom tailored to your body, has the perfect length, is made out of a fabric that you like in the colors that you love, and that the whole thing actually is comfortable and looks cute? Probably not, right? And you would be totally right with it because that skirt doesn't exist. Yet. However, in this video I will show you how you can easily sew it yourself. It takes less than an hour and you don't need a pattern. So, let's get started. First of all, you need to decide how long you want your skirt to be. Do that by taking a measuring tape and holding it to your body from the point where you want your skirt to begin to the point where you want it to end. Write that number down. Then add 2 inches as a seam allowance for the hem, plus the width of your elastic, that will later on serve as the waistband of your skirt, plus 1 inch. Everything together will be the finished length of the piece of fabric that you need to cut out. Determine the width of your skirt by measuring the width of your hips and then add 4 inches for a skirt that ends above the knees, or 10 inches or more for a skirt that ends below the knees. That is necessary that you have enough fabric to be able to walk and move freely. Cut 1 rectangle of fabric out with those measurements. Or you can do it like me and divide the width of the skirt by 2 and make 2 rectangles. Overlock all of the edges except for the bottom one, or use the zigzag stitch on your sewing machine. Take tailor's chalk and make marks 4 inches from the bottom edge of the fabric. Also make marks from the top edge of the fabric with the following measurements. The width of your elastic plus 1 inch times 2. Now fold the top edge of the fabric down to the marks and iron the fold. Also do the same with the bottom edge of the fabric. Put the bottom edge to the marks and iron the fold. Unfold it again and then place the bottom edge exactly onto the fold and iron the new fold. Pin the side edges of the fabric together. And now sew the side edges of the fabric and secure the stitches at the beginning and at the end by sewing backwards and then forwards again. If you have a sleeve ironing board at home, use it to iron the seam allowances apart. Sew the hem of the skirt and don't forget to secure the stitches at the end. Pin the seam allowance on top into place and leave about a 5-inch gap open. Sew the seam allowance with a 1/4 inch distance from the edge and leave the 5-inch gap open. Secure the stitches at the beginning and at the end, and then cut the threads off. Take the elastic and determine the finished length of it by putting it around your body and pulling it as tight as you want your skirt to be in the end. Then put a pin into the elastic to mark the finished length. Put a big safety pin into the elastic and then pull it through the tunnel that you just sewed. Put the beginning of the elastic exactly to the pin and then sew over that part a couple of times. Cut all the threads and the rest of the elastic off. Pin the gap closed. And now sew the gap closed and secure the stitches. When you're done, cut the threads off. Turn the skirt inside out and then you're finished. And that's how you make your own custom tailored skirt. Please subscribe and give this video the thumbs up if you like it and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.